10 years into the siege of Troy, the Greek army faces total collapse. Their deadliest weapon, the invincible Achilles, is sulking in his tent, refusing to fight after a bitter dispute with his commander. This absence leaves a massive power vacuum at the front. To prevent a Greek rout, the goddess Athena intervenes, selecting a mortal replacement to anchor the line, King Diomedes. Athena peels back the mortal mist from Diomedes' eyes, granting him divine vision. Now able to see the immortals pulling the strings of the battle, Diomedes lunges into the fray and drives his bronze spear through the wrist of Aphrodite. Diomedes then charges Ares himself. Guided by Athena, he thrusts his spear deep into the god of war, forcing the immortal off the battlefield with a scream that shakes the earth. Far from the divine bloodshed, the Trojan prince Hector pauses to say goodbye to his family. When his infant son screams at the sight of his flashing armor, Hector removes his heavy bronze helmet and lays it in the dirt to embrace the child. Hector understands exactly what is coming for them. He knows Troy is fated to fall, and that his family will eventually be led away in chains. Yet he replaces his helmet and returns to the plain. Achilles stepping away did not stop the war. It simply forced mortals and gods to escalate the violence until the conflict reached an apocalyptic breaking point. The Greek momentum evaporates. Their top commanders, Diomedes, Odysseus, and Agamemnon, are all wounded in quick succession, forced to retreat and leave the camp defenseless. Hector leads the counter-assault. He performs a feat of superhuman strength, hoisting a jagged boulder and slamming it into the center of the Greek gates. The heavy oak beams shatter. Trojan troops pour through the gap, reaching the Greek warships and calling for torches. Without these ships, the Greeks have no way home and no supply lines. If the fleet burns, the entire army will be slaughtered on the beach. Watching the ships burn, Patroclus, Achilles' closest companion, begs for a way to save his friends. He asks for permission to lead the troops back into the fight. Achilles agrees to a desperate compromise. He lends Patroclus his own divine armor to terrify the Trojans, but with one condition: push them away from the ships and nothing more. The plan works. Seeing the golden armor, the Trojans believe Achilles has returned to the field. They break and flee in absolute panic. Intoxicated by the slaughter, Patroclus tosses aside Achilles' warning. He spurs his horses across the plain, driving his chariot straight toward the high stone walls of Troy. This overreach forces the gods to act. Apollo sweeps down behind Patroclus and strikes him across the shoulders, shattering his spear and stripping the divine armor from his body. Dazed and defenseless, Patroclus is an easy target. Hector steps forward, delivers the killing blow, and steals the armor for himself. Patroclus' attempt to save the army triggered the exact domino effect required to destroy Achilles' sanity. The news of Patroclus' death causes Achilles to collapse into unholy, paralyzing grief. He pours dark soot over his golden hair and violently tears his clothes, his screams echoing across the sea. Achilles ends his feud with Agamemnon, not out of forgiveness, but because mortal pride has become irrelevant. He is now driven by a singular desire for annihilation. Hephaestus forges a masterpiece, the shield of Achilles. The center ring illuminates the cosmos, sun, moon, and stars. The inner ring reveals human duality, a peaceful city and a city at war. The outer rings depict life, farmers plowing, vineyards, and spinning dancers. There is a dark irony here. Achilles straps on a beautiful portrait of a peaceful, living world just before he marches out to destroy it. He ignores the warnings of his own immortal horses and launches a slaughter so horrific the rivers of Troy literally boil with blood. The pride of a single man triggered a chain reaction that stripped away his friends, his honor, and eventually his humanity. On the plains of Troy, Achilles is no longer a hero or a king. He has become an engine of death, a force that will not stop until the world he once loved is buried in the dust.